Skateboarding video games are undergoing a renaissance right now. EA is bringing the Skate franchise back, and a remastered version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be hitting store shelves in a few short weeks. The indie community is also working on some wildly ambitious titles, such as Skate Story and the utterly adorable Skatebird. If you want to play something right now though, look no further than Skater XL. The game has been available for some time through Steam's Early Access, but now a public-ready 1.0 version is out on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. It's a realistic take on skateboarding that is clearly inspired by EA's Skate franchise. And from a distance they look pretty similar too, with a low camera angle and hilariously bad ragdoll physics whenever you fall over. Skater XL is more than a cheap clone though. The game has an utterly brilliant control scheme that uses both analog sticks to imitate real-world skating. In the old EA Skate games, the left analog stick was used to spin and generally point your character in the right direction. But in Skater XL, the left and right sticks represent your left and right feet respectively. That means something as simple as a kickflip requires both sticks to complete. In this footage, we've enabled the on-screen controller so you can see how everything works. To perform an Ollie, you hold the right stick down and then release to pop the board into the air. A nollie, meanwhile, is the same thing, just in reverse, so you'll need to hold the left stick forward and release in a similar fashion. Once you've mastered those, you can mix in another stick. A kickflip is performed by flicking down on the right stick and then left on the left stick, mimicking how your front foot would drag and momentarily leave the board in real life. You can do the vast majority of skateboarding tricks with this system. Pop shove-its, varial flips, tray flips, laser flips. If you can think of it, there's a good chance it's possible in the game. At first, the system can be a bit overwhelming. Countless games have ingrained the idea that the left analog stick is for general movement. It took me an hour or two to override that muscle memory and use the triggers for leaning and rotating instead. The game also gets complicated if you land in the opposite stance, known as switch, because then the control scheme is effectively flipped. You can bust out grabs with the bumpers and perform various grinds by rotating in midair and moving the board around with your feet. The game even supports power slides, which are always fun and look stylish as hell if you're bombing down a hill or ollieing into a steep bank. The console version of Skater XL has 4 official maps and 3 alternatives developed by the game's PC community. Most of them are well thought out, but don't expect any pedestrians or moving vehicles. The game's visuals generally lack a bit of polish too. It's fine in motion, but stare at the scenery for too long and you'll realise that developer Easy Day Studios is using really basic textures and lighting. The character models are also pretty ropey, no matter what kind of tops, pants, and sneakers you style them with. Skater XL is also disappointing if you want any kind of game structure. Each map has a selection of challenges that are split into categories like grabs, manuals, and advanced lines. They're more like tutorials though, with an example run that you can study beforehand. I enjoy ticking them off, but they're no substitute for a meticulously designed story or career mode. There's no official multiplayer either, so you can't meet up with friends and session the same staircase together. For some people, these are deal breakers. I've seen countless comments and reviews online criticizing the game's $40 price point and perceived lack of content. And if you fall into that camp, I completely understand. But I don't mind the lack of structure. Yes, every game in the Skate franchise had a career mode, but I spent so many more hours just cruising around and dreaming up lines. Skater XL encourages you to play in a similar fashion. It's on you to come up with creative sequences, practice them for goodness knows how long, and then, if you fancy it, record them using the game's built-in video editor. Then you can share them with friends or the rest of the Skater XL community that's blossomed on places like Discord, YouTube, and Reddit. If you're still not satisfied, there's already a bunch of mods for the PC version that let you tweak the physics, play with friends online, and access many more maps that have been developed by the community. Now, I can't talk about Skater XL without mentioning Session, another game with a control scheme inspired by EA's Skate franchise. Session is arguably the better looking game, while Skater XL has the edge on controls and board physics. There are plenty of videos online if you want to compare the two, and it's worth noting that Session is still in early access. The game is also limited to PC and Xbox One at the moment, so if you only have a PlayStation 4, well, the choice has basically been made for you. Skater XL has a lot of missing features, but its control scheme is so good that I'm willing to overlook them. If you loved EA skate games or just want something to pass the time between real-world skateboarding sessions, give this a try. The first time you land a crooked grind, you'll realize that this is what sim-focused skateboarding games are supposed to feel and play like. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, you can find more video game coverage on Engadget.com.